Welcome everybody, this is Defeater of Souls. Today we're talking about the material family. Now, what exactly is the material family? Well, generally every monster in the material family can be fit into one of two subgroups. They are either an inanimate object that was brought to life, or they are a robot, and there is practically no exceptions to this rule. The material family has been around since the original Dragon Quest Monsters game, and it was known as the material family. Its symbol was a thing of bricks. This is important because this is one of the most consistent families in the entire series, along there with slimes and dragons. That's because they appear in every single Dragon Quest Monsters game, including Joker, which had a habit of trying to reduce the amount of families it had by shrinking them into smaller categories and combining families together. And in every single time it was signified by a pile of bricks, even though that only covers a small population of the material family. That all being said, what exactly does material family have to bring to the table? Well, being a bunch of inanimate objects like rocks has its benefits, as these guys generally are very good tanks. Now, what exactly do I mean by tanks? Well, a tank is, in RPG slang, a word you'll use for a character or party member that's really good at taking hits. They can be hit over and over again and they generally won't die. Or they'll take a while to die. They're really good for drawing attention to themselves while your other party members deal out damage. And, well, I'm here to tell you that Material Family was born for this job. It has incredibly high HP stat, incredibly high defense stat, and very low agility. This makes it really good at taking hits, but it's incredibly slow. However, it can deal damage too, as its attack is fairly high as well. It's a little dumb, but although the material monsters bring good defensive stats to the table, there is still quite a few things that they are ultimately lacking. That mainly being immunities to status conditions and reasonable resistances to a lot of elemental attacks. On a whole, the only thing that the family is consistently immune to is instant death attacks such as whack, thwack, or kamikaze. When it comes to resistances, they do resist ice, but that's about it. Now, maybe you need to know some well-known family members, so here's a few that you might recognize. The Golem has been around since the original Dragon Quest game back on the NES. This is way before Dragon Quest Monsters was an idea. The golem is made up of a pile of bricks and is, by definition, a golem is an anthropomorphic being made entirely out of inanimate matter, such as clay or dirt, or in this case, bricks. Another member you might recognize is the rock bomb, which is, quite literally, just a rock with a face on it. However, this rock does have a tendency to blow itself up, so you often have to be careful with it. However, you can generally rely on them to blow up your opponents and to not get blown up themselves. Some of the more robotic members include the Killing Machine, which has also been around since quite a while. Generally, I think Dragon Quest III was their first appearance, and they've consistently appeared ever since. Of course, one that's appeared a lot less consistently is its evolution, the Uber Killing Machine, although that's hardly anything worth really mentioning. And of course, one last fairly recognizable member would definitely be the Muddy Hand, which has also been around for a reasonable amount of time. So, that all being said, this has been the history of the material family of monsters. It's nothing really compared to some of the more interesting things that appeared in the Nature Family video, but that's personal opinion. Maybe you find the consistency of rocks to be a lot more interesting, and I can't judge you for that if you do. So, that all being said, this is the end of the video. I could ask you to like, I could ask you to subscribe, but I won't force you to. Just know that the options are indeed there. If you have a favorite material monster in the video that you feel like is iconic, let me know and I'll make sure that I'll fix it anytime in the future. If there's any monsters you're more curious about, keep an eye out for the shorts that I release, generally weekly on Thursdays. That all being said, thank you for watching this video, and this has been Defeater of Souls.